Today, I'm with Alonzo Ford, who is both a client of ours and a very good friend. We've loved working with him. We have come to the end of at least this phase of the work we're doing with them, and so we thought we would do a little bit of an exit interview if we could. So, Alonzo, would you just tell us all about you and your company? Just a little bit of intro there.
Sure, and thank you, Randy, and Ellen as well. I know that you both have been welcoming me with open arms into working, with Long Advisors, and it's been a joy. My name is Alonzo Ford, and I am the CEO of Lowe's Guardian Angel Personal Care Home, and we provide care services and group homes for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And essentially, we exist to help them live their best life.
Yeah.
We have about 5 homes in the metro Atlanta area, as well as an adult daycare center and a number of other services. So we're excited, and we're doing, work that's very needed in our community, very mission oriented, and as a result, there's a lot of things that we need to focus on and tighten up. And I'm grateful for you guys to help us do that.
Yeah. So just to give us a sense of where we are, tell us how things were before you hired us, and then we'll ask how things were afterwards and what made you decide to hire us, that sort of thing. Okay.
Sure. So we are a grassroots startup. I mean, we started this company in 2005. My mother, my father, and myself at their kitchen table, and it's been a journey ever since. And I won't go too much into the details before the journey or through the journey, but I'll just say that we are a small family-owned business, and with 2 generations working together as partners. And we've grown it from a mom and pop to, a legitimate small business with around 50 employees.
Yeah.
And it was time for us to prepare to level up, which meant that we needed more controls. It meant that we needed to understand our value and understand the drivers of our value. So before, we were working and producing revenue and, fulfilling our mission and having profits, but we really didn't have an understanding of the drivers of the value of our business. And working with you guys allowed us to really dig in and understand the value.
Yeah. And I remember, a lot of the cases when we come in, we like to start work at structure level. And so, because a lot of smaller businesses, even if they are growing, exponentially fast and all, sometimes there are issues just at structure that are maybe different than they were from when the company was first started and what the vision was at that time. And then we have to, go in and do some work on the structure side. You don't have to share, intimate details of that, but if you could give us just a little taste of that, that would be good.
Sure. Well, I mean, our structure is definitely been impacted by working with you guys. We were a partnership, my mother, my father, and myself, that, was the same way since the beginning. And now they're in their golden years, and they had a desire to exit and retire. I had a desire to help them exit and retire and live their best life. And so now we were able to work through a lot of details to get the company transitioned from their ownership to my ownership, and then also structure something where they would be set for the rest of their lives, and where I would have control and opportunity to make the decisions and investments in order to scale it to the level that I'm looking to scale it to for the long term.
Yeah, and it was good. It was your mom and dad are super sweet people. They were a complete pleasure to work with. they were also very smart, very savvy. And they grasped the concepts, they recognized issues and made their points. And so it was just a good give and take. And I think the family won across the board by the time we were done. And I think the company has been growing since the time. Just recently been doing some acquisition, and I'm looking forward to the next phase of the company with you too. It's kind of exciting to watch you really blossom into that CEO role. So now that your wife has come to work with you, right?
Yes.
And tell us what her role turned out to be.
She started out as a consultant, and then she leaned in more alongside the COO to be our process excellence leader. And then she grew into compliance leader. Then our COO and nurse left, and she's company vice president over operations.
Yep.
And one of the things I did want to, just kind of also mention was that, working with you guys, it helped us work through family dynamics, of business and family. And we were able to look at estate planning as well as, how to value the company and make it, a sellable company.
Yep.
And now that my wife is in, she's focused on operations, and I focus on business development, brand, capital value. And so it's a good, segregation of duties.
Yep.
And we complement each other really well. And so it's been a blessing. There's also challenges that come with families working together, but through your help and the way we've set things up, as well as open communication and clear lines of responsibility, we've been able to navigate that pretty well.
That's right. Yeah, it's always fun. A lot of our work, of course, is with family-owned businesses. Not always, of course, but sometimes we are doing transitions a lot of times to the second, third, or fourth generation. One time I had when I did the transition to the fifth generation. So, even making it to the second generation is you start to, squeeze down the number of people successful enough to survive a transition. So it's always a challenge to do that, and making the company a true company in such a way that it can buy off the parents or support the parents or whatever the case turns out to be, because we want them to also eventually get to the place where they can retire and they can enjoy their years instead of having to stay in the grind. So that means we got to make the business a real business, right? And your vision has allowed you to go out and get that level of business done. And we were just super, super proud of the work that you did and your willingness to, work with us, tell us, keep us informed about what your thoughts were and how you felt. And then the family dynamics working with your mom and dad was interesting too. There's always some dynamics in every family that are different than every other one. So it's part of what makes what we do, unique and kind of fun. So, okay, anything after the fact maybe that's different that you thought it would be than when you hired us, and why did you hire us?
I hired you guys because I don't know what I don't know, but I was at least wise enough to know that, this was something that you were, had great experience in and you written books about. I read the books and enjoyed the books. And so I said, in order for us to level up and for us to really know what this is and what it's worth and how to increase the value of it, I want to go to the expert. And you and Ellen have been tremendous in that regard and helping, looking at things. And I probably say maybe 60% I could have done and cobbled together, on my own. Yeah. But that 40 to 80% are so critical that it could botch up everything else if I mess it up. And I just didn't want to take that chance. And so the things that you bring to the table are so critical, and those critical decisions and ways to look at things and think about things really helped us position well for the next stage, the next level of our growth trajectory and our business.
That's right. That's right. Part of your big goal, of course, with us was to help you get the company ready to be able to grow, right? So we had to eliminate a few things here and there and change some things and modify some things and be creative with some things. And you've kept following through with having the vision and executing on the vision. And so I'm super proud of you for all the work that you've done. And we've loved working with you and your family. And any closing comments you'd like before I wrap things up here?
No, I think that it's just been a pleasure working with you guys. And I also appreciate the encouragement and the prayers and spirituality, because we believe, I'm a believer, and all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. And I feel like we came together for a purpose and a reason, and it's been great. And I look forward to seeing what we can do in the future with your help, and how you are continually able to help small businesses like ours.
Good. Well said. Well said. And thank you for that. Lord bless you. And we'll let you go. Thanks for the time too, and for giving us a chance to do the exit interview. We'll talk to you later. Okay.
Thanks, Randy.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.